Welcome please to the JVG podcast, where these G's are gonna spread their seeds of knowledge about the league. It's flourishing with these. These funny catchers seem to be well read, esteemed and honest. Like the man himself, Jeff Van Gundy. They are high IQ, so cerebral and funny. So if you're on the bus, just border on the dunny. Listen to the
JVG NBA Tribute Show.
Welcome to this episode of the Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show. I'm your co-host Lukas.
I don't think you've ever used this
Co-host
timbre of voice before.
Yeah, well,
Timbre?
it's the timber. I think the timber to match the new timber floorboards and the new timber island bench.
And hey, how about to match this?
How about to match this? And I assume there's some form of... Oh no.
No, it's brick actually.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But Mark...
We're talking, of course, about my new house.
Okay,
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too. Regularly scheduled programming. I think this is actually the first normal JVG. Look, this is our third for the year, but it might be our most like JVG episode probably since we got back from Europe.
Well, I think the first one of the year was pretty JVG because it revolved around the steak dinner we had.
True. True. That stakes were high.
It was just on like the tail end of a really lovely afternoon.
True.
Which is very JVG, even though most JVGs were recorded on the Monday night.
Yeah, in a studio. In a studio.
Yeah,
audience.
in a studio apartment, exactly.
Yeah, but we've finally come to the very end of Marco's moving. So Marco's moved out. He's then been looking at places, living at Alex's, doing this, that, and the other, as they say. And last time we spoke, you had gotten a place. You'd gotten the keys. You're now in.
I hadn't I? I'd gotten the keys.
You're now in. You can finally, we can nip it in the bud. We can put it all to rest. But Mark, how you feel?
Never have to talk about it again.
Well, you don't have to not do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like to get to the end of this story, which we've started every episode with.
Let's just skip it this time.
Okay.
Let's just skip it. Nah. Really love the house. It's great. It's a really nice house.
Yeah.
Kitchen's beautiful. Love my bedroom. The location is just sublime. It's been taking me 10 minutes to get to work every morning. And I don't know why, but the gap between 10 and 20 minutes, which is what it was from my old house and Alex's house, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's weirdly life-changing. 2 mornings in, I'm like, what the hell? I'm at work early every single morning.
Yeah.
And then, Northcote Pools is right there. I just feel so connected to the rest of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like, I think being up in Preston, it's just like, oh, you want to go somewhere? Well, first you have to cross the worst road in the world. And then you have to ride for 10 minutes. And then you can go to your next destination.
Yeah. And you said 10 minutes from Northcote Pool. We did have our first narc evening. I think we've had one narc day. No. We haven't. We've gone to the pool a few times.
Yeah. No.
We said hi to each other that other time.
Oh, yeah. We crossed past that one time.
Well, last night we were there at the same exact time and had no idea.
You
that the other
came
was
and
there.
left like within my time frame as well, which feels good. Just to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I went for just a stretch.
Yeah, I love that.
And I feel like that's, I wouldn't do that at a gym, but at a health club,
At an aquatic and recreation center.
at a facility.
Yeah.
I would, and I evidently I did.
Did you stretch in the gym or did you?
Yeah. I went to that area that you
The
looked like
stretch
you'd
area.
stretch.
Yeah, exactly right.
Man, I felt unbelievable. I've never been an avid stretcher or an even a little bit stretcher, but 2 days in, I feel so. It's one of those things where it's like, why wasn't I just doing this all along?
I can't say I stretch. I feel like I should probably stretch then.
Yeah.
If you're saying this.
You can also just do it a little bit.
Yeah.
You can do like a 5-minute stretch every day or like a couple times a week.
Certainly.
I just can't get around to it. But this evening we had a narc evening. I went class gym steam, first ever steam. You went gym steam, and as we were walking in the foyer, you were like, "Oh, this is the type of place you can just mosey."
Yeah.
You said it a bit differently, but I feel like mosey captures what
Yeah,
we're
but
doing.
I wish I'd said mosey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. When I went, the last gym I went to, I was very like in and out, It's like go there, lift weights for 40 minutes to an hour, leave.
Yeah.
No hanging around, no faffing about either.
Yeah.
This I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll just do my exercises slowly. I'll do a bit of cardio.
It's faffable.
I'll go for a little swim, go in the steam room.
Yeah.
I'll run into someone in the spa. Maybe I'll hang out with them a little bit. Maybe we'll have a really awkward interaction. And then
and I'm there for all of it.
have like 2 showers as well.
Oh my God.
Have like post gym shower, then have a post steam room shower.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just don't. You don't feel any guilt about it. Like I'm here for my mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. I feel like, I completely forgot what I was going to say, unfortunately. But in terms of the steam, what would you have liked for an ideal steam length? Because I think 10 minutes was good. Honestly, at the end of the 10, when he said, let's go, I actually probably could have said, you know what, Marco, let's do 5 more.
Yeah.
But what would you have done?
I think 15 minutes is my ideal at the moment. And I think I start to get uncomfortable at the 13-minute mark. But I like pushing myself a little bit further.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do want to... I want to get this... I think I want to get the steam up to 20. I think 20 would be crazy.
Yeah.
Like...
Do you know you're still wearing your wristband?
Oh! Never take it off, mate.
Yeah. So 20 you reckon's ideal. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was fun doing a gym sesh. I feel like more your territory, you know. You know, I mean, in the grand scale of time, you've been going to the gym for a lot longer and a lot more regularly than I have. And then it was good. It was good to take you to the steam room and be like, "Come on, buddy, it's not that bad."
Take you down in your neck of the woods. No, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I think when I do get that 15-minute window, I'll definitely what's it called? Entertain myself.
And we didn't do this post steam spa, which is like, honestly, the spas is not all that, but it's kind of fun being in the water and just like chatting to each other.
Yeah.
I think that's the benefit of it.
Yeah.
And like really loosening the muscles a little bit.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say before when I said I forgot. After the steam, I had a cold shower at home. Now I'm thinking, I could probably just have a cold shower at night.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I definitely should.
100%.
Because I wanted to do that straight away, but I had started to cool down a little bit. Got home, gave myself the warm shower for the soap et al. But then I was like, nah, I need to do this. Cold shower.
Yeah. You did the cold at the end sort of thing.
Cold at the end of thing. Yeah. For about 2 minutes as well.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I can't do that, man.
How long can you do?
30 seconds.
Oh, you're like right. You're basically 5 seconds off 2 minutes. I reckon you got to do like 45 seconds. After 45 seconds, you could be in there.
You stop feeling it.
You could be in there for 5 minutes.
Right. Interesting. And do you go straight to cold or do you like ease your way down to cold?
So today, no, I usually go from like
piping hot to freezing cold.
I usually go from whatever I was in
Yeah.
to straight to cold. I don't do like 3 different temperatures in between.
Yeah, I have to do like 1 or 2 shifts towards the cold.
But I think there's a benefit in the shock.
It is.
Yeah.
But I just hate it so much.
Yeah, that's fair.
A friend of the pod, Angus Ryan, actually, I'd say
Contributor,
a regular contributor.
Yeah.
For someone who loves hot takes, he actually loves cold showers.
Really?
Yeah.
He's been a long time cold
like,
shower.
If I'm ever feeling stressed, I just have a cold shower and I immediately feel better. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so good. It's also so
good.
good to tell yourself that, and then like, you know, that be true.
Yeah, but also cold showers they help you like de-stress as well, because you have to like find your breath, because it like puts you in this state of shock so that you're like, it's actually like a meditative thing. Oh, and also Annalie Maley, famous podcaster and TikToker and basketball player, she spoke about it on one of her episodes with some fucking like tier 1 basketball player. And she was like, yeah, it simulates not exactly a panic attack, but she's like, it simulates the same thing that your body goes through. So you have to take back control and it's just like finding your breath, and then your body will regulate after that. You also feel so good after one. Like you feel like clear-minded. I do, at least.
We're really straying into Joe Rogan experience territory right now.
It's
Not
entirely
in a bad
possible.
way.
But that's not what we came here to talk about. We came here to talk
maybe
about...
a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We came here to talk about black dick. Now, this dropped Tuesday last week. It dropped the day of when we recorded the last W episode.
Yeah.
And look, honestly, Gradey Dick jersey swap. You're thinking alarms are ringing. It's like, surely JVG is out within out within the hour.
The 2 emergency pods. Harden traded to the Sixers. No, Harden traded to the Nets.
Yeah.
And Gradey Dick jersey swap.
Yeah, Harden Dick. But the WNBL finals had just finished. It would honestly be fucking so horrible.
It would have been awfully inappropriate at the time.
Yeah. But we got to touch on it. I mean, this is the most JVG.
We should definitely have to touch Blackpool for sure.
Coded news. And also housemate of the show. Now housemate of the show.
Oh yeah.
Well, elevated from contributor of the show to housemate of the show in the space of 2 weeks. Ollie Lees gave us a fun little game, like who would we like to see Gradey Dick do a jersey swap with? Great, maybe we can even get into that. But just how did you feel? Looking at the jersey swap?
I almost couldn't believe it.
Oh my god!
Like in 2 senses, that I was like, wow, this is actually happening, and they're like fully both. Anthony Black and Gradey Dick are like fully cognizant of what this moment means.
Yeah.
You know, like, and 2, I couldn't believe that it has taken this long. Like, surely, because I feel like, I mean, we could do this as a long-term project. I feel like you could find one player on each team who would match up well with a Gradey Dick jersey swap.
Yeah.
Like, there's one surname on each team that looks nice next to the Dick 1 jersey. So yeah, it's. I guess part of that is, as we discussed on our rookie tier list episode, Gradey Dick being like pretty bad at basketball for the first half of the year and not getting much NBA time. Probably wasn't on the floor like at the end of most Toronto Raptors games for the first like 40, 45 games of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like we live in such a beautiful time.
Yeah. He's been playing really well lately as well.
Yeah, he's been great. He's been looking so comfortable.
Yeah. Looking more comfortable for sure. I think the reassignment to the G League really helped him. Do you follow him on Insta?
No, but I go on it regularly too.
So every time he has a good game, I don't know why or who this is. Maybe I should look into it. But he always posts or he reshares Wasserman Basketball, which might be his like agency or something. But I don't know why he posts, like, reshares their post of his game and not, like, the Raptors.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, ESPN or something. It's always Wasserman Basketball. But...
yeah, that's his agent. That's bizarre.
That is bizarre. Maybe it's a deal. Maybe they have a deal.
Yeah.
But I've just got this, since this one good game, in his past 15 games, 12 points per game.
Pretty good.
38% from 3.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
I feel like that's exactly the sort of player I thought he'd be coming into the league, like flirting with 40%, contributing between 8 and 12 points a game.
Yeah.
Not doing, a whole lot else, but just like not being bad.
Yeah.
In either aspect. So yeah, shout out Gradey Dick.
And also being a vibey locker room guy. Being a vibey dick.
He's the vibiest.
So before we move on to the next piece of the next article, what was your... like, if you could pick one person for Gradey Dick to do a jersey swap with, who would it be?
I think mine was Kevin Love.
Yeah.
I think it's partially because it's Kevin Love. Like, I think it'd be really funny for, like, mid-30s white guy and young white guy to be doing a jersey swap.
Yeah.
And he's got the... does Kevin Love wear 0 for the Heat? Oh,
that's I think he might be back to 42.
Yeah. Ah, damn. Because I think...
It's 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was 0 for a second, and you could make 420.
No. 421.
It's 42.
Yeah, okay. But because that was part of the appeal of the Anthony Black moment, was the 1 and the 0 just look so good next to each other as well.
That's a good point.
But yeah, I think it also being Kevin Love and Gradey Dick just without their last names standing next to each other doing a jersey swap.
Yeah,
it'd be really fun.
There's something in that. Now, I will give you time to think about this next question, but what order would you like it to be in? You can think about that. I would love Nasir Little and Gradey Dick.
That's a great one.
That's
Yeah, and we know the order there.
Yeah, you can
Dick Little.
Well, you could go Dick Little, the sequel to Stuart Little, or you could just
Stuart Little's cousin who didn't get adopted from the orphanage
and made it to the NBA. All Little Dick.
Yeah,
which is arguably funnier, if not funnier.
Yeah.
So yeah, what order would you do?
I think I do Love Dick. Love Dick's good.
Yeah.
It just looks so good on a t-shirt as well. Like, I would buy that t-shirt. I'd buy a t-shirt of that moment.
Of the Jersey song.
Yeah.
I think Dick Love would also be good.
Yeah. Dick Love. That sounds like a Drake single.
Yep. So yeah, Valet, Grady, Dick, keep doing your thing.
But I like Anthony Black as well.
Yeah, true.
Wait, oh my god, yeah, they were both in our rookie tier list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember where Anthony Black made
Not
it.
high.
But I feel like it was like he had the really cute post about Summer League, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I feel like he had like, there was like this wholesomeness to him. There was like, let's have a few beers with him. Yeah. But there wasn't like a, it doesn't seem like he's going to be the one like, you're not like, oh fuck, remember that thing Anthony Black said?
Yeah. But yeah, he started 30 games for like the 4 seed in the West. In the East, sorry. So like, shout out to him as well.
All right, well, let's keep from Black Dick, we can go to LeBron James and JJ Redick.
Sounds perfect.
Now, they recently started a podcast called Mind the Game. And honestly, the first time I saw a clip of this, I thought this was from like years ago. I thought it was one of those things where it's like, wait, when did JJ Redick and LeBron sit down and talk about basketball? Like, I could have imagined it was from like 4 years ago or something.
Yeah. Before the pandemic, me and LeBron sat down and spoke about ball, Yeah.
But no, it turns out it was last week, 6 days ago actually, already on 3 million views on YouTube. And they've got a second episode already recorded. Were you able to catch the first episode of Mind the Game with LeBron James and JJ Redick?
Yeah, I did. I listened to it yesterday. And I'm having such like cognitive dissonance about it, where like I really enjoyed it. Like I really, and I do think it's like incredible that, you know, LeBron is recording this sort of podcast in particular. And you know, me and JJ, we've had our disagreements. Yeah, for sure. But I've currently come around to him. I might go back in the other direction.
Yeah.
But God, LeBron is he's just not an orator at all. It's just so hard to listen to him sometimes.
No. We were texting about this earlier today as well. Like, he's so smart. Like, he's just like, his development as a basketball player, like not even development, just came into the league really smart, only became smarter.
We'll touch on how early he was smart as well.
Oh my God, we will definitely
finish your train.
We will definitely, but like you hear him talk and it's like when Chris Paul talks, you're like, oh, no wonder he's, you know, one of the best playmakers.
He sounds like exactly the player he is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Draymond Green, however you may think about him, he can speak for 30 minutes on a podcast pretty well.
Yeah, he has a solo podcast, which like most people can't do.
Yeah. And then he also communicates stuff that happened on a basketball court pretty well to the average fan. LeBron, like, what's going on? Like, I feel like he was great in interviews and just at talking until like maybe till he got to LA.
Yeah, right.
Maybe till he got to the Lakers. But just the last few years, it's just said so much random shit, and there's just like no flow. Like at the very start of the episode, JJ asked him like, "What makes a great basketball player?" And then LeBron's like first answer was like, he's like, "Oh, other than the obvious stuff, no in the history of the game." And you just knew he wanted it to be like the most like moment.
Yeah,
like he wanted to like do this like zag, but it's like.
His first two answers was knowing the history of the game and sacrificing your family.
Yeah,
like, oh God.
You got to sacrifice loved ones. Yeah. But yeah, what were your lowlights of his oratories in this first episode?
I think when they were... and this is the thing, this is why I have such dissonance about it. When they were talking about like flipping a play, which is like, you know, me, I didn't play junior basketball or anything, so I've never thought about it in that way, that it's like, oh, okay, like you then have to think about everything like mirrored. And a lot of LeBron and JJ were like, yeah, like a surprising amount of NBA players can't do that. Like they can't run a play on the other side, like, you know, angled left instead of angled right.
Yeah.
And then LeBron just goes, I've been flipping plays since I was 8 years old. It's like, you don't need to tell us that, you know, like we know how smart you are. We know how good a basketball player we are. I'm sure when you were like an early teenager, you had like this crazy IQ that no one else in high school basketball had. You don't need to tell me that when you were 8 years old, like coach was drawing up plays and you were like, no, let's do it on the left.
Let's flip it, coach. Yeah. This isn't like, you don't need to add any notches to your career. And if you're going to, this isn't the thing to add to the legacy. But yeah, flipping a play is like, it's pretty crazy that NBA players don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Or there are some that don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
You just do the same thing.
Yeah. But you know, so much like so many a lot of elite athletes, so much of their skill is like, you know, rote learning and like it's like, all right, well now I'm doing that on the other side of my body and I'm getting all confused. Yeah. Like I'm not an elite athlete. I think I would get confused the first few times I had to flip a play. Yeah. Like I'd probably figure it out eventually. But I think there's definitely like an element of being like, all right, like LeBron and certain other players can just do it without thinking. Some people have to think a little bit about it, and then there's probably like a select few who it's like, I don't know, like I can't imagine Andre Drummond knows how to flip a play.
I was going to go Jordan Poole.
Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah.
Like he just wants to bring the ball up.
I don't think he knows how to run a play, to be honest.
Like imagine like, I want to bring the ball up on my left hand. Let's flip it. Like it just the play is flip it. He's still on the left hand. I saw him with just too many people on the strong side. I think my favorite quote from this one was when LeBron said that all of the coaches he ever had growing up said that he has an uncanny ability to process information at a speed quicker than anyone they've ever seen before. Again, like bragging about, you know, things he did when he was a child. When he clearly doesn't have to.
And the way he said it in the classic LeBron making up a story way, where JJ said to him, like, this is like 5 minutes before he actually says the line, which like I do beg you to go and listen to, because the way he delivered it is incredible. But like JJ's like, you have this like amazing ability to process information on the basketball court, and LeBron's like, man, you know what? Just as you were saying that, I was actually having the same thought. You don't need to like beat JJ to the point, and be like, no, I actually originally independently had that thought. You can just be like, thanks, man. I think so too. Like, I completely agree with you. Because it's true. It's completely 100% true. You don't need to turn it into like, I had this thought independent of you, and also coaches have been telling me that like my entire life, like since I was a child.
Now, massive pile-on. I mean, this
really paying out.
It's a really good pod. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that it's like, it's different from like all the other content that's out there, and the fact that you can get LeBron on a show that's different, I think that's really awesome, because that just opens up so many things. Like LeBron does no one's podcast. Like he barely does. He doesn't even go on like. Not First Take's a bad example, but like those panel shows, like he won't just go and be like ahead on those panel shows. He never does this stuff. He'll go on like the TNT Inside the NBA desk during the All-Star weekend or something, but that's as far as it'll go. So to have him like in this form, it's really interesting. And it's like over his 20-year career, 21, Jesus. We've never really had this like insight. So now to have it, it's like it's so fun. It's like this new toy. So it's great. It's awesome to see him talk in such long form. But yeah, what's the JJ Redick what's it called, report card for the episode?
I don't know. I'm really on JJ at the moment. Yeah. Like I think just generally like because of like the sort of player he was, you know, like he knows so many people around the league. He knows so many coaches. And like he was obviously one of those players. I was saying this to Ollie before. Like he's obviously one of those players that like, all right, he's incredibly talented shooter, incredibly hard worker, but like was able to like pick things up from coaching staff really quickly and like, you know, kind of I guess endear himself to them, and then you know can do the same with players older and better than him, but also like, you know, mentor younger players in that way. Like a good teammate, but in the like I'm a good teammate because I understand the game really, really well. And I think the dynamic between him and LeBron is really good because they're obviously like not friends. Like they don't not like each other, but like they don't have like.
I was literally having that thought exactly. exactly at the same time.
Like, they never played together, and they obviously don't have, like, they don't text or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a professional relationship.
Yeah. But then, like, they really respect each other. And JJ's also, I think he's very good at, like, being respectful and professional, but then also, like, not getting under a guy's skin, but being, like, you know, being able to, like, joke around and, like, get them to maybe say stuff they wouldn't say in other situations.
Yeah.
So I think he's the perfect partner for it. I think that's also the only reason it happened is obviously either LeBron or someone in LeBron's team was like, all right. I mean, this was the joke on Twitter that it's like the random white guy who knows nothing about basketball on LeBron's podcast is JJ Redick.
Yeah,
like,
true. That's a good point.
The Tommy Alter to LeBron is JJ Redick.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And obviously, this is like something LeBron wants to do. You know, this is like a security thing or whatever. Not that he needs it, but like a way to kind of stay in the NBA, you know, spotlight, media, whatever, after he retires. And he was obviously just not going to settle for anyone. He's like, all right, JJ seems like the perfect guy to pair up with on a project like this.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like JJ also has that thing where he's not like enamored by LeBron. He's like, I understand this is the greatest player that was in my generation, and I can respect that for what it is. But I'm gonna still be JJ, you know, like I'm still gonna be like my own person and not just like a yes person to LeBron, which I think LeBron has probably a few too many of those in his corner, which kind of makes sense. I'd probably be one of them. If me and him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, it's like that thing where it's like JJ's not like, oh, you get this about the game. He's like, we get this about the game.
Yeah.
Like he's putting himself on the like, at least the like IQ level of LeBron. I mean, obviously not right on the level, but like in the same tier. Like when he was talking about, he's like, oh yeah, I was watching someone versus the Clippers the other day, and like, you know, Kawhi was guarding the big man of the possession, and then the point guard like called for a screen from the guy Kawhi was guarding. And you know, he wasn't saying, and then LeBron's like, yeah, you obviously don't do that. It's like, it's good to like put that they're like having the same thoughts, or like at least JJ's kind of positioning it like, you know, we both know heaps about basketball. You just happen to be the greatest basketball player of all time.
I think that was like, now to the positives. I think that was one of them. When I can't remember what that was part of like a bigger segment. I think maybe what like pissed them off about the game, but they were really getting into like really good examples. It's like, so like you're thinking this as well. When we think, oh, that's dumb, you're also thinking, oh, that's dumb. And then when LeBron said he didn't like the 2-for-1, I was like, bro.
What a moment.
Oh my God.
Imagine getting that out of LeBron in the first episode of your podcast.
I felt so relieved. And like the way he spoke through it, and like obviously he said the stuff like, you don't know how good your team's been the last 4 plays or whatever. And then he said the thing like, if you run a good play and you get a good shot, then that's momentum going into the next quarter. And I was like, I never thought of that. I always thought like end of the quarter, fucking there's like just like I didn't think of like quarter to quarter momentum. And he said 1 or 2 other things in that little stretch that I was like, oh fuck, awesome. So this, because now I feel smart.
What did he say when he was talking about their comeback against the Clippers? And he's like, all right, I know if I'm down 18, I'm getting pulled in like 2 minutes, so I need to change the game right now. And I think that's crazy to be like, I have 2 minutes to like completely change the direction of this game, and he did it. Like,
and he did it.
He's like, all right, we ran a play, we got a 3 out of it. We run the play again, we get a 3 out of it, and then I like take a fucking like off balance contested 3 and I hit it. It's like, all right, I've done my job. Like, the game's on now. And another thing they were talking about, like, obviously we talk about how fast the pace of the game is and how like a team can go and 12 points, get 12 points up in 2 to 3 minutes. But they said, they were like, if you were 19 points up at the start of the 4th quarter, they'd pull the bench. And I was like, they actually would. They like, and not half of these players, a quarter of these players were playing. And that was the case. So like the pace has changed so much, and offenses have gotten so good in that short amount of time. It's just crazy to think. Like, it's like genuinely 19 points was like blowout. And when do you see players get pulled at like a 19-point deficit? It's like with 3 minutes left or something. There's still the chance of turning it around.
Genuinely. So I'm going to be watching this moving forward.
100%.
And-
I'm glad we put the negative stuff at the beginning.
Yeah. Just in case people click off. Yeah, definitely I'll be watching. Very entertaining. They work well together. I feel like there was another thing LeBron did that made me laugh, but I can't remember exactly.
He's really fun. Like, he's really unintentionally funny.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all the like annoying, like frustrating stuff aside, like he just has. It's just so funny that this is how one of the greatest athletes of all time chooses to communicate with.
Yeah.
them. Like
Definitely.
like
I
this
think,
goofy dad. Like,
oh man, but like I think he went past the goofy dad thing. I think when he was young, he had this charisma, and then he went into like there was a bit of like angry LeBron in Miami, but then he went into like dad mode for a little while, and I think that was peak LeBron personality wise. But I think since then he's tried to tap back into the charming LeBron and the goofy dad thing, and he's like trying to create this thing instead of just like being himself. Because when he is himself, it's like, oh, fucking, this is awesome. You're cool. But now it's just now it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like Drake. You know how Drake like bends his personality to be like, oh, I'm a reggaeton specialist now. Or like, did you ever see that video of him at that UK club rapping?
No.
It was like this like underground UK.
Yeah, I know. I think I have seen this.
Yeah, and then like they're all pretty like they all seem like they're like from the streets and like they're all like quite hard. And then he's there and it's like, you aren't this person.
Yeah.
So
But also, like, you're Drake. Isn't that enough?
yeah.
Which, is the LeBron thing. You're LeBron. Isn't that enough?
You might not be relatable anymore.
Yeah.
The NBA moves so quickly these days, it's hard to keep up. Shams and Woj are breaking stories left and right, but the Quick Time Out is right there with them to keep you informed on the latest NBA news. Stop in and let us break it down as it happens. Find the Quick Time Out on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
You want to talk WNBA? Maybe some WNBL? Australian Opals chat? Heck, even dabble in some EuroLeague? Find the W Basketball Show on the Deep 2 Podcast Network. All right, well, Eurovision 2024.
Wow.
Do we have to talk about it?
The big anglerfish, let's call it.
The big
Something
anglerfish.
that,
All right, sure. So, big vibe shift from the last one. Maybe we'll go. So last year we were both traveling. Actually, you know what? It's nearly my 1 year anniversary for leaving.
Wow.
Would you believe?
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. I can't believe I made it this far. When I was away, watched Eurovision, followed along. We might have even spoken about it on the JVG in the whole.
I think so, yeah.
That we were going to cover Eurovision this year and like be finalists and enjoy it and stuff. However, Israel has been granted Eurovision 2024 entry after lyric change. The name of Israel's song for Eurovision initially was October Rain, a reference to the Hamas attacks on October 7. Now, I haven't listened to the song. I feel like I probably didn't do the right thing by not listening to the song. But they have since changed the name of the song to Hurricane. And I think that they've changed a few of the lyrics in the song, that this article mentions. But the point of the song is still the same.
Yeah.
So
I listened to it. And yeah, it's just like so clear what it's about.
Yeah.
And like every single comment is like, wow, you really capture like the pain and the, sorrow of this moment so strongly. It's like, well, what the fuck? What's the point? What's the point of kicking up this whole hoo-ha? And then it's like they change a few lyrics in the title and it's fine. Like,
yeah, to get people to sympathize with Israel.
Yeah.
I think that they're quite supported in the world politically, but I feel like this is like beyond a political thing. Like now it's just a humanitarian thing. Like this it's just complete misery.
Yeah.
So I think huge fuck up by Eurovision allowing them to compete, this song to be the song that competes. 100%. I mean, imagine if Israel, like one of the singers came out and sang like song whose messaging was like anti-genocide.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you'd have to layer
even like completely naff, like anti-war, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. True. That's a much more passive way to
you know,
to go
all
about
we're
it.
saying is give peace a chance or some like, you know, airy-fairy bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But instead it's so, yeah, you're right. It's such like a tool of, you know, whitewashing, you know, what Israel is doing in Gaza. But yeah, I mean, it's just sort of like so much of the European political elite like just have no problem with it either. Like, they're just full supporters of Israel. It was interesting that like Belgium is basically just calling for Israel to be banned from Eurovision outright. So it's not, you know, it's not unanimous by any means.
Oh yeah, of course.
But like, you know, it's so disappointing.
Yeah. Belgium, whose Eurovision song last year, I think was sung by, I can't remember. I can't remember if it was Belgium or Germany. One of them had, let me just look it up. Belgium Eurovision 2023. Great song. Really, like just a pop song. This was not the song I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But sung by Gustav.
Yeah.
You know, gay man. You can decipher that pretty quickly when you take a glance at this guy. But he is.
Yeah.
So good on them, I think. For calling it out.
Yeah.
But I think it was Germany. But one of them had like a fully anti-war song, and I think it was directed at Russia.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of but that was in 2022. A lot of them were directed at Russia. In 2023, a few of them still were. So it is interesting what Eurovision's used for, because like I think it was politicized from the outside, and then I think the acts harness that for their own. Like, okay, if you're going to talk about it like this, then we're going to use it as as that, and we're not going to get like misconstrued. We're going to be the ones that get to
control the message.
be in control of the messaging.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that's also important to note that like Russia was kicked out of Eurovision after the invasion of Ukraine. So it is.
Oh yeah.
And it is like, I mean, you know, I'm not going to get into a full Israel-Palestine thing on this podcast, on this basketball podcast, no less. But like, it is just like this huge fucking contradiction where like there has always just been this completely unanimous, like, you know, condemnation of Russia for invading Ukraine, and there's just not the same, you know, unanimity or unity around like how people respond to what Israel's doing in Gaza. And it's like, why? Like, can you just look at those two situations and like I don't know how you can draw such wildly different conclusions from them as like a human being.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit of a dampener to end the pod.
No Eurovision coverage on this podcast.
Yeah, this is seismic.
Yeah.
The world
Who's Australia sending? Don't care.
the world is gonna feel this. He's gonna feel
Oh my god, nobody watched the competition this year because the JVG boys boycotted it.
So actually, has their coverage been extensive in the past? Not a word. Not a word out of them. You know what? That's right. Our protest started 4 years ago.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Protesting since day one. Episode 1, no Eurovision Song Contest.
Who are we sending?
We're sending Electric Fields, who actually I keep meaning to listen to this, but they're like indigenous Australian electronic music duo. So it kind of sounds quite up my alley.
Yeah. Also, they're holding the competition in Malmö, in Sweden. Yeah.
Wow.
A place I called
Oh
home.
my god! And we really have to boycott it this year.
I know. It's quite. I'm very interested, and we don't have to talk about this on air, but where the fuck they're gonna hold it? Because I've been to Malmö.
Yeah, right. And there's no like obvious Eurovision Song Contest hall.
There is one area, but I mean it's Eurovision, you know, like it's huge.
I don't know. I'm like where do they hold it in other countries? Barclays Stadium.
Oh, wait, where did they hold it in the UK?
Yeah, surely.
They held it in the UK.
At that bloody O2 Arena or whatever it's called.
But they held it in the UK. But they held it in the UK for someone else, didn't they? Like they held it for someone else. Like they didn't, because if you win, you host the next year.
Yeah.
And did you?
Oh, Ukraine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, that's bloody politics.
Yeah.
They held it at M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool.
Yeah. It was huge. The venue was enormous.
11,000 capacity.
Not that big.
Yeah. They play basketball games there.
For a glorified Rocker Stedford.
Did you ever do Rocker Stedford?
No, but I watched my sister, and that was enough.
Yeah.
I think that was enough to turn
It's
me
a
off.
lot. It's a lot.
So long, man.
Yeah.
And like, obviously she's older than me, so I never had the chance to like enjoy it as a part of it. I was just like there from as a kid. Like I was like, we're there for like 4 or 5 hours, like for a 5-minute song, and like every time I'll be honest, it was pretty good. But like every year, 4 hours, and like you like in a row, and man, like it was nice bonding time with Dad for sure. But like it was just not for me.
Yeah,
right. I didn't get a chance to enjoy it.
Yeah,
Did you compete?
No. I think I think Fitzroy was too dinky for it. Was it a high school thing? Yeah. What? So Sophie was in a band and like.
No. It was just Northcote High. Yeah. And they would just sing a song. How do you spell Rocker Stedford?
I want to say EIST. EISTEDDFOD. Great radio here, folks.
It was just confusing me because you started with I.
Yeah, I did.
And I thought it would be R.
I said it wrong.
Alright, well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Did we have anything else on the agenda? I feel like we might have
We're going to
mentioned.
talk about our weekends, but like.
Oh, we got to talk about the. Wait, do we have to?
No.
What happened?
You went to a wedding.
I went to a wedding. Did you just?
I just moved into this house. I went to IKEA. That was pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Sweden. Wow.
Yeah, we did a big IKEA shop on the weekend.
Yeah. When is your last big IKEA shop?
Like, I think when we moved into Collins Street 1. Dox myself. No, Collins Street 2.
Okay.
Dox myself. Yeah, so
2 Collins Street.
2020. Pre-COVID, actually. That would have been the last time. It would have been like weeks prior to COVID.
Wow.
I can remember very clearly going in with Ella and like buying a toilet brush and like buying a soap dispenser. Yeah, we went in, we did the lower floor first, which is a mistake.
You went to Richmond?
Yeah.
There's another one somewhere?
I don't know.
I think there might be one. Anyway, go on.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
We did it in order, which is good. And then me and Alex were like, we'll just run upstairs and get this one thing. Never go through IKEA out of order. It like attacks you mentally. Like the building like fucking like sends psychic rays at you or something. like it killed us. Like it was like, we're in kitchen. Oh, now we're in lounge. Oh, now we're in kids. It's like, no, just follow the path. It may take a little bit longer, but you need to follow the path.
They've truly laid it out for you.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't take longer.
No.
Yeah.
No, because like we were just panicking the entire time. Like, oh my god. Where's the knife block? Like,
did you have a meatball at the end?
No, I had 3 hot dogs though.
Beautiful. How much is that?
$2 each.
Oh, hot dog in bread?
Yeah.
With sauce?
Yeah, well, you serve your own mustard and tomato.
Own bun.
Loaded hot dog, $2.50. I didn't get one because Zach and I was like, you've already had 3 and I need to get another one.
Just holding you back. If I was there, I would have definitely been like, come on, what's the next time it's gonna? It's the last time.
That's what I said. When's the next time I'm gonna have a fucking cheese dog at IKEA?
Exactly fucking right.
God.
You haven't.
You should have been there, man.
Well, all right. Well, since we're on the topic, I was at the wedding, but but even still, 3 hot dogs is not even 1 hot dog at IKEA per year.
No.
From the last time you went.
No.
Which is benign.
No. I almost want to go there just to eat. Like, big serve of chips, $2.
Yeah.
Unlimited refill drink, $2. And like seriously unlimited, man.
Yeah.
Like Zach had 3 drinks in like 5 minutes.
Oh, and I guess no one pulled him back.
No, they didn't.
Jesus fucking Christ. So you want 1 hot dog per year, and he gets 3 drinks in 5 minutes.
Exactly right. And he'd been to IKEA the day before.
So what I did on the weekend, I actually think I broke my record for, I want to say same amount of beer. Sorry. Same. I think I broke my record for the amount of the same beer in a night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Really?
I reckon I've had nights where I've had like X amount of one beer and then maybe some of another, and then or maybe like a mixed drink in there,
Right.
etc., etc.
Right.
At this wedding, I mean, just fucking Peroni after I reckon 20 Peronis.
20
I reckon,
Peronis.
man, I'm not
Wow.
joking. I fucking just get I feel like every 15 minutes I was at the bar.
Wow.
Another Peroni, please.
Were you quite drunk at the end?
So I hammered, so fucking drunk. Oh my god! And also it's because like Soph and Leo were out and drinking, and you know they're parents to a 1.5
they don't
year
get
old.
the opportunity.
Yeah, and so when they go out and they start drinking, it's like almost like I have to, you know, like if they're doing this,
It's almost like that.
yeah. If they're doing this, it's like it's more of a selfless thing, and the fact that the beers taste
I
so good.
selflessly drunk 20 Peronis on Saturday night.
But great wedding. Had a lot of fun. About 5 or 6 Masso songs. Good to get the Masso dancing. You know, the steps can use some work, but it's nice. It was nice to see my family for sure.
Yeah.
And on the way home, had a massive detour. Probably had a 25-minute detour because Manningham Road was closed. Don't know if that means anything to anyone. But the Uber driver we had was just so chill about it.
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, oh, that's a shame. And then he just U-turned and he's like, what do I do? And then I told him how to get there, and then it was so nice. I think he really added to the drive home.
What hours were you at the wedding for?
Let's say 4:15 till midnight.
Far out.
Yeah,
You had 20 Peronis.
good slog. And I didn't start drinking them until 5. So I was thirsty for 45 minutes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's 3 Peronis an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, true. I honestly wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if it was that.
Yeah. Well, good on you, man.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Glad you had a nice weekend.
Yeah, cheers. All right.
I think that about wraps it up, Lucas.
I think so. It does. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even talk about having Crocs and Rooster at the beginning of the episode.
Oh my god!
How
This has kind of turned into a reverse episode.
Yeah.
What did we start with? You moving in.
Yeah.
We could have finished with that theoretically.
Yeah. Well, I think we did like
Bell curve.
we kind of started. Yeah, we did exactly right. Yeah. We
Yeah.
started with bullshit and we ended with bullshit.
Yeah.
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 So, just for the subreddit, this was a Crocs and Rooster before episode.
Yeah. You can add it to the Excel spreadsheet. The shared Google Sheets. Yeah. See you, bro.
See ya.